Milkyway Keys, Darling, and the Frank sets are finally going on group buy starting on September 6th. There will be two sets available, PBT 02 and PBT Ichigo, which are inspired by characters from the anime. Each set will cost $95, which is a pretty good deal considering the fact that you'll be receiving base kit, novelties, and the spacebar kit. For this group buy, there will be a promotion that will be running with these sets. If you buy a kit in the first 40 hours of the group buy opening, you'll receive a free card that matches the set you buy. I don't want to be mean or disparaging towards the artist, but honestly, I don't think that the cards look all that great. So if the only reason why you're thinking about buying this set is due to the free card, I would just save your money. If you like the set and are going to buy it anyways, then just think of it as a freebie. There was a bit of controversy regarding PBT 02, but since I've addressed this in a previous group buy video, I won't be going over it again. Just know that the designer for GMK Darling doesn't seem to outright disapprove of the set, but also does want to make it clear that this set wasn't a collaboration. I think that both sets look nice, and if you missed it on GMK Darling, this is a good alternative, though the color scheme is kinda different. Zerpocalypse is working on a PBT version of GMK Darling, so if you prefer that color scheme and are willing to wait, I would recommend that you join their Discord for updates. Overall, I think that both PBT 02 and PBT Ichigo are both good looking sets being sold at a great price. $95 might seem like a lot to some, but if you look at the number of keys you'll be receiving for your money, it's honestly a great deal. I would strongly consider buying these sets if you're in the market for a blue or red set. GMK Momo Yume is a keycap inspired by quote-unquote daydreams and a glass of peach sparkling sake, and I could definitely see it based on the colors that were chosen for this set. Although this set does use slightly different colors and also features yellow legends for the grey mods, GMK Momo Yume does kinda look like GMK Fuji. I think that GMK Fuji does look pretty nice, but I think I prefer the colors that were chosen for GMK Momo Yume because the tone of grey is warmer and easier to look at, which matches the theme. I am kinda curious as to why the designer chose to use yellow for the legends and some of the keys. My best guess that it's supposed to represent sparkling sake or Japanese champagne, but if it was up to me, I probably would have used the pink rather than the yellow. Another thing that I find kinda weird is the peach alternate alphas. Based on the pictures that I've seen, it appears that the alpha kit only covers half of the alphas rather than the full set. I'm not really sure why the designer chose to do so, but I think that this looks kinda weird and I probably wouldn't buy this kit if you do choose to join it on the group buy. It's actually kind of a shame because I do think that the full alternate alphas would look pretty nice. I think that GMK Momo Yume is a set worth considering. If you missed out on GMK Fuji, this is a good chance to get a set that is similar in terms of color scheme. GMK Tako is another VTuber inspired set that's been in the works for some time now. The VTuber that inspired this set is called Nino Mae Inanis, which has octopus tentacles, which is probably why the set is called GMK Tako, since Tako means octopus in Japanese. The set features a purple and gold color scheme which looks really good. The base kit does feature hiragana sublegends due to the inspiration, but if you don't like how that looks, there's a Latin alphas kit for sale as well. Other than that, the set has a pretty large novelties kit and a spacebar kit, but no international kit, which might be an issue for some. Overall, I think that the keycap set looks great, especially if you're a fan of the VTuber. The novelties are really cute and offer a lot of keys which you can use for customization. I really like how the novelties kit includes a 10 macro keys, which can be useful if you have a board that features macro columns like the Sunsetter. It doesn't have support for all layouts and users, but I think that it's a lovely set that should be strongly considered. DSA 2077 is a futuristic set that features some interesting designs for modifier keys. Although it's in the name, it's not a set that was inspired by Cyberpunk 2077, and was a set that won a design contest at Drop held almost 4 years ago. Kitting for the set is quite interesting, because rather than offering the standard kitting that you would see in most keycap group buys, Drop is offering different kits for different keyboard sizes and layouts. Other than that, there's a numpad kit and a hobbyist kit, though I think that the hobbyist kit is a little too sparse. Due to the lack of keys, it doesn't cover some of the more interesting and rare layouts that some people like to use, which is quite unfortunate. Pricing for these kits are actually pretty fair in my opinion. You aren't getting as many keys compared to what you might get in a standard base kit from a GMK set, but it contains all the keys that you would need to cover a keyboard. There's not much customization offered as a result, but I think that the keycap set looks interesting enough in its base form. I really like how this set looks, and I think that it's a set that you should definitely consider if you want a dark set with a futuristic vibe. Unfortunately, Drop doesn't work with proxies, so it might get quite expensive for some international buyers. There are probably ways around this issue, but it would definitely just be easier if Drop worked with other vendors. The popular milkshake set designed by BIP is back, this time in Cherry Profile and DSA Profile. In some of my older videos, I did show off my NK65 Milkshake edition that has a set of Cherry Milkshake, but I gave the keyboard to a friend as a gift for their birthday, so now I don't have the set anymore. As a result, I am thinking about joining in on this group buy, though I am somewhat conflicted on whether I should get the cherry version or the DSA version. Both sets are PBT dice-up keycaps and is pretty much the same kitting, other than the fruit kit and the ergo kit. The fruit kit for the cherry milkshake has a couple extra keys that the DSA Milkshake Novelties kit does not have. This does come at a slight cost, as the cherry version costs $20 while the DSA version costs $15, but it's pretty negligible. It's pretty nice having more keycaps to play with for customization, but honestly, the DSA version already has enough to work with. Furthermore, because the DSA profile has uniform height, you can place the keys pretty much anywhere you want, and are not limited by row height, unlike the cherry profile. The DSA Milkshake also has an ergo kit, while the cherry version does not. I do have an ergo board coming in, but I did get the basic keycap set along with the keyboard, so it's not really something that I have to consider. Therefore, the biggest factors for me to consider is the keycap profile as well as the legends. The cherry profile is something that I've used a lot and I'm pretty used to, but I am somewhat interested in the uniform height that DSA keycaps feature. I have heard from other people that the uniform height might lead to a decrease in typing speed and an increase in typing errors for people who touch type. Because I do touch type for the most part, maybe I should stick with the sculpted keys found in the cherry profile to avoid running into these issues. Regarding the legends, Cherry Milkshake follows a GMK standard where the legends are in the top left corner, while DSA Milkshake has centered legends. It's honestly more about personal preference for this variable, but I think that both sets look really nice because the font is really clean. I have a feeling that I'll probably end up picking up the cherry version for this set, but I do have a lot of time to decide as the group buy does end on October 1st. I think that both versions are great, and people should really look into picking up this set. The F284 is a project that I've been following for some time now, and I do really want to pick one up for myself. The F284 is the successor to the F18X that was also designed and created by GeonWorks. The F18X was on sale for Korean mech keyboard members only, so it's great that the F284 will be available for global sale this time around. Unfortunately, there are a limited number of units and each vendor is region locked, so you're going to have to act fast and make sure you're on top of it, because I'm sure that these will sell out super quickly. For North and South America, the vendor for the F284 will be Apex Keyboards. The current estimated price is 670 Canadian dollars, though in the announcement post, there's a TBD next to price, so it's possible that it will be adjusted when we get closer to the group buy date. That is quite a bit of money, so I would definitely do my research and listen to a couple sound tests to see if you like how it sounds. I know that some people don't like sound tests because they rely on a lot of different factors, but I think that in general, they give an idea of how your keyboard could and might sound. There are a decent number of type tests on YouTube that you can listen to for the F18X, and there's a type test from Kenians for the prototype of the F284. But overall, the keyboard is quite high in pitch, so if you prefer lower sounding keyboards, this probably isn't the one for you, and you might want to save your money to spend it elsewhere. If you don't manage to get an F284 this time around, don't stress out too much and buy one from the aftermarket. Gion has mentioned in his Discord that he plans on improving the F284 based on user feedback and have more future releases. So as long as you're patient, you will have more opportunities to get your hand on this board, or maybe a better version down the line. The Phase 165 was originally just supposed to be a render concept for ePBT Less But Better, but due to popular demand, this keyboard is now going to be up for sale on KBD Fans. Although an explicit date was not listed on the product page, based on the Coming Soon tab on the KBD Fans website, it's supposed to be going live on September 15th, which is the same day that the Baguette 66 will also be going up for sale. I'm not sure if this is just a typo, because it doesn't really make that much sense to list both keyboards on the same day, since the sales for one can cannibalize the sales for the other. I'm just reporting what is currently listed on their site, but I would definitely keep my eye out to see if the date changes. When the keyboard IC was initially posted on the website, there were complaints about the top right blocker because the original design showed the number 15, giving people the impression that it was like a calendar display, or used for timekeeping. However, it turned out that it was just an interchangeable badge, which is super clunky and stupid. The new design now features a badge that has what I'm assuming is the designer's logo rather than the date. While it doesn't feel as dumb compared to the original idea, I still don't like this design. I'm personally not a big fan of the logo, so it would have been better for me if I could replace it with a blank badge or maybe another key. A great idea that was suggested in the comments was to replace the top right blocker with a screen, so it could serve the original purpose but in a smarter and better way. Unfortunately, the designer didn't go down this route, so now we're just left with a top right blocker badge. I think that the IC page on KBD fans is garbage due to the lack of information. There isn't a Geek Hack page or a Reddit post to provide more information either, so all we can go off of are the renders and the type test that was posted on the page. I think that this is extremely lazy and the designer should have put more information on their IC page. Hopefully more information will be posted when the keyboard goes on sale, but you should honestly be putting more information on the IC pages, especially when you're asking people to drop hundreds of dollars on your product. The Phase 165 was inspired by the Braun Phase 1 clock that was designed by Dieter Rams, a famous German industrial designer whose design principles have left strong influences on modern day designs. I personally don't know much about industrial design and the work of Dieter Rams, but I have a feeling that he probably wouldn't approve of this keyboard because it does feature a lot of useless features that look good but don't really serve a purpose. Despite my criticisms of the board and the interest check, I do like how it looks. There are a lot of things to improve on, and I wish that some of the features on this board were more functional rather than just for appearance. But if the price isn't too bad, I think that the board is worth considering. Maybe if the board is successful enough, there will be a round 2 sometime in the future, where they fix some of the design flaws and make some of the features more functional.